Hey everybody, Jason from Sweaty Hero Comic Bargains, and this one is dollar bin stuff that is all Spider-Man. So it's Spider-Man centric, and these are all Spider-Man stories that are from like 2024, 2025. And this is an example because I bought these in 2026. Rogues Gallery Comics in Windsor, Ontario has dollar bin stuff, and it's usually old inventory and overstock. But this is an example of how you can find more recent stuff, but for $1. And cover price, this was $3.99 US, which in Canada is like five something Canadian, and then tax. This issue is Miles Morales Spider Man, is issue 23, Legacy number 305. Now, the legacy numbering from Miles Morales Spider Man, I think kind of cheats because Ultimate Spider Man number 101 to 150 was Peter Parker in the Ultimate Universe, and then Miles Morales took over that title. And now he's in the regular universe, not in the Ultimate Universe. But so it kind of cheats a little bit. But anyways, so here's an example of how you can find Miles Morales Spider-Man, a $3.99 US book, for only $1 in a dollar bin. And if you bought like a long box or short box, they'll probably give you a good deal. But I'll let them decide what that deal is. I don't want to say it. I want to let them decide that deal. Here we have Amazing Spider-Man 950. So you can see that this book is U.S. cover price like $8, so that's more like a $10 book. And Legacy number 56. And in this issue, we have him fighting Tombstone. And this is by Zeb Wells, and the art is by John Romita Jr. And I am a fan of John Romita Jr., and I am a fan even of his modern Spider Man stuff. I still think that he is a great Spider Man artist, and he definitely is one of the best Spider Man artists of all time, in my opinion. But he's been working since the 80s on Spider Man. And he did a run in the 80s. She Hulk appears in this issue, as you can see. But he did a run in the 80s, and he did a run in the 90s on Peter Parker Spider Man and adjectiveless Spider Man. And then he switched over to Amazing Spider Man again in the early 2000s with Straczynski. And then he has come back all throughout the years and at various times. So I think he's done more Spider Man comics than anybody. The only one who matches him maybe would be Mark Bagley. Um, and so here we have in our issue with him with Spider-Man and Tombstone. That was my dog, my landlord's dogs in the background, barking. And then we have another issue, and this is Legacy number 953. So I did enjoy the Spider-Man versus Tombstone storyline that they had here. And then we have the Eight Deaths of Spider-Man, which is very much Doctor Spider-Man with Doctor Strange like powers, and it involves Doctor Doom and him fighting magical characters and creatures. And one of the things that you'd have to notice for you can't see it with the two issues I have here, but there were a lot of dot something or other issues, um, and sometimes Amazing Spider-Man title does that nowadays. Is that it'll have like a 67.1 or something like that, and you'll have to find those are more tie-in issues. They're not, they'd be equivalent to almost like when they used to do like a miniseries spin-off of the crossover that's going on. But it's kind of confusing because it's not like they would have 67, 68, 69, all point one. They might only have like a couple different ones, so you got to check for that when you're getting it. And it's not necessarily like I'll see it here. Let's see. Does this have a list in here? No, it doesn't have a list. See, that's not helpful. Doesn't have a list of what issues you needed for the whole storyline. And then you can see that they were going to do Spider-Man with the powers of Juggernaut with that storyline. And then, as you can see, this is Legacy number 963. Boom! You got a new volume of Amazing Spider-Man by Joe Kelly, with Amazing Spider-Man Legacy number 979, but issue number 15. So in this run right here, this is Amazing Spider-Man in space. And so this is a spoiler for a comic book that's already a year old. Will be probably a year old by the time. Well, actually, this one is actually from November. So this is only like from when I'm doing this video is February. So this is only from November of 2025. It's February 2006 when I did this video. But point is that I think I can spoil it. So, anyways, because of a cosmic villain that he faced, Spider-Man is in space, and Norman Osborn is on Earth as Spider-Man. That's right, Norman Osborn, who was Green Goblin on Earth. So, anyways, the cosmic part I didn't like as much as the Norman Osborn as Spider-Man part, but this storyline is about wrapping up about right now, as I say this video. And then finally, I bought 2 different copies of Spider-Man 94. And these are based on the animated series. J.M. DeMatteis, who is one of my favorite Spider-Man writers, shout out to him. He is writing this, and it picks up where the animated series left off, with Mary Jane is back. And he chose to do something interesting, which he picked characters that, Kane existed in the 90s, but Moreland did not. Moreland was not invented until the early 2000s, so I thought that was an interesting choice to decide to use Moreland as a character in this storyline, and not just stick to characters that were only created prior to 1994, but you can see the art style, and that is the same outfit that Peter Parker had in the animated series. So the same thing with Mary Jane Watson; she had that yellow outfit. But James DeMatteis does a fun job with Spider-Man 94. Also, you can give this to kids, a Spider-Man comic that you can give to kids. Hence why I got 2 copies, so I can give them out or sell them to kids. And I love the Spider-Man 94 animated series, currently on Disney Plus as of this video. Probably still stay there. And I think it's probably the best of the Spider-Man animated series. One last thing before we go is I will point out that you can see that with this issue, number 950, sorry for my finger in a way, for this issue 950, you can see how there's a little, like a crease there. And that might be why it was in the dollar bin. But if you're just looking for books to read, again, why would I care about the perfect condition of this book when it's a modern book from 2025 and I just want to complete my collection? So, anyways, that's Amazing Spider-Man today, and we will come back to you with some more amazing comic bargains in another video. Thanks.